Welcome to the Deanna News Show. I have an exciting show for you today. I have three amazing people with us who are doing so much in the community. They're all leaders in the community, and I cannot wait to introduce you to them. So without any further ado, I would like to introduce you to Maxine Schaker. Maxine, did I say that?
Schaker.
Schaker. That's okay, Maxine. Maxine, oh, we always have fun in this show with names. I know I said it in rehearsal, it's better. Maxine, you are with Max the Mutt, and I love Max the Mutt. He's the cutest little thing ever.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about Max the Mutt. I know you have so much stories and so much history to share with us.
Well, Max the Mutt is a career college. It's a registered career college. It offers approved diploma programs, that's the government's wording, in animation, in concept art, which is design for video games and animation, and illustration for sequential arts, comic books and graphic novels. And these are in-depth programs. They're 3 and 4 years long, and they're meant for post-high school students. People can apply who haven't graduated from high school. One of the things I like about being a career college is that if you are an adult student, you can apply really no matter what. If you don't have a high school diploma, the government does require that we give a test to make sure you have basic English and math, but you can still apply. So we have a student body that has students straight out of high school, people who never graduated, people who completed university, people who dropped out of university because they were disillusioned or found they were on the wrong track. It's a very diverse community, and we have international students as well. Small classes. This is a college that was founded by artists and animators practically accidentally. Everybody teaching is a working professional. And come and visit us. We're open, we're welcome to people coming in, asking for tours. And it really is a great school, and we feel, some of the highest quality work coming in.
Where does Maxine Schaker fit in all of this? You are one of the founders here, is that correct?
I did.
You did?
Yeah, and now I don't teach anymore. I think I stopped teaching about 2 years ago. It's the accidental school is what I call it.
Accidental school?
Right.
You're going to tell that story?
Well, I had no life plan to start a school. I was a painter, and I taught at Sheridan College 2 days a week to supplement what I earned doing my work. I taught a little bit at Centennial as well. And I had a large studio, and I held classes a couple of nights a week to help with the rent, to be perfectly clear about it. And a lot of people knew me. I was a well-known person from Sheridan. I had a lot of students following me, and they started asking for things. They weren't happy. Could anybody teach them perspective? And I had friends who taught things, and one thing led to another, and before you knew it, we ended up with a school. That's the long story, would take way too long to go through. And we started out just doing animation.
Yes.
I had been teaching life drawing and anatomy for the animation program at Sheridan, and Tina Seaman had been teaching animation. She's the person, by the way, who designed Max the Mutt.
Max the Mutt.
And some students came to me and asked if there was I knew anyone who could teach classical animation. This was the late 1990s, and only Sheridan was available.
But let me ask you, what is classical animation as opposed to, is there different types of animation?
Yes, all the old Disney films that we love, Pinocchio, Dumbo.
What about Jungle Book?
Jungle Book. Believe it or not, these are all drawn by hand.
Yes.
Every drawing was done by hand. Every cell was painted by hand. Incredible. And those guys knew what they were doing. It was really beautiful work. This is still a very, very important knowledge base. If you go into computer animation, now if you go and see something like, we just watched Tangled on Family Day, we watched Tangled. And what's the new one, Frozen? Those are 3D animated films. But the people who are doing the animating, trust me, can draw. And they have background in classical animation. All the top companies now, if they're going to hire you, if you want to go to the top, that's why short programs in animation, in my view, are not going to get you a good career. Want you to have traditional fine art knowledge and classical skills, meaning you can animate by hand. So Max the Mutt offers, in our animation diploma program, we offer all of that. So you
That's
get-
like learning how to, when I grew up in the islands, know how to do the long multiplication and the long division as opposed to a shortcut. I mean, we have shortcuts too, don't get me wrong. It's the same thing. You want to know some of the basics.
Well, you have to.
You have to know the basics.
You're going to, we have a Facebook page, Max the Mutt College of Animation, Art and Design. Check it out, where I post things for students. And one of the things I posted was a pencil test. A pencil test is a drawn test by the guy who animated one of the leads in Frozen. So when he was searching for her personality and her body language and her movement, he didn't go to a computer. He drew.
Yes.
And then you can line test your drawings. You know what a flip book is?
Yes.
Well, it's flippable animation.
Yes.
You can line test it by videoing each shot and then running it through a program, and then you'll see all your drawings together and whether they move well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's what he did before he ever touched getting into the computer.
You have to. You have to go back to pencil and paper,
Yep.
regardless of how you do it.
In everything.
In everything that you do,
Yeah.
especially when you're trying to. That's where you feel the character.
Yeah.
Or you feel the storyline, or whatever it is. Or people say sometimes people when they write a book, they want to write it by hand because it comes through as opposed to typing it or dictating it.
Well, we're doing a product. The difference between us and books is that we're creating something tangible. So, it's a craft too, right?
It's a craft. It's a very expensive craft and a very lengthy craft
Right.
and time-consuming craft as well.
And I would take this opportunity to say to any young people who might be watching, the same thing is true. We have a 4-year concept art program where people are learning to design the environments, the characters, the props for video games and animation. Too many young people go straight to Photoshop. You need to know Photoshop. You need to have command of it. But if you want a top job, you have to go back to the paintbrush. You have to learn how to paint by hand. Everything is by hand first. And every top concept artist at top companies who we talked to when we put that program together insisted that people do easel painting every year. We have too many people now who just want to shortcut it.
You, I know, in your first year of your program, the 4-year programming, you do things a little differently. You teach them some sort of soft skill, life skills, whatever type of skills you
Yeah,
want.
well,
It's a little different.
we
Because you're more like a home. You're your home.
it's like a small company.
company.
Yeah, we grade, by the way, on professionalism as well as course content. So the point is that we have small classes with very dedicated students and dedicated instructors, and respect for what we're doing. And we say any behavior that would not be acceptable at work is not acceptable at Max the Mutt. But we also really want community, and we want people to support each other, to compete with each other in a healthy way, and to lend a hand to each other. And overall, I'd say we've managed to pull that off, that's worked very well. And everyone is stronger if you can do that, everybody.
Absolutely.
But that first year, most people do not have the opportunity to get really good, old-fashioned, traditional fine art training. And those are the skills that take people to the top.
It's a foundation.
Yeah,
It's a foundation.
yeah. And very few people have that, so we include it. We don't say, you're gonna have to learn this first and then apply. We make a judgment. They do a portfolio for us, and say, well, when you get here, you're going to get a year of perspective. You're going to get structural drawing. We're going to teach you life drawing. We're going to teach you how shapes of color create illusion, which is what representational painting is about. We're going to teach you design. We take the responsibility for doing all of that. We don't expect them to come to us with those skills. But what they need is passion, professionalism, right? Very, very important.
I know it's in the minds of everyone. Just quickly, how did Max the Mutt become a little young boy? I mean, I love it. You know that. But
Yeah.
why Max the Mutt? Where did that come up from? In the
Oh,
concept?
originally when I was teaching out of my studio, it was a big studio I shared with another woman, and she named it Studio M, right? Because her last name started with M, my first name started with M. So we started as Studio M.
So M&M's.
But when we went to, and she left, And there I was with the big studio, and classes were going on when I wasn't painting. And we went to incorporate. I learned everything. It was a very grassroots. One of my students said to me, you really need to incorporate. So I incorporated. And when we went to incorporate, Studio M was taken. We had to come up with another name. Tina had already designed Max. And my husband just came up with Max the Mutt. He had been in advertising, and
Smart man.
yeah, that's the way. And we really liked it because at that time there were a number of schools no longer around, but everybody was an institute of this. It was very pretentious. We had just been advised at another place where I was teaching that we were professors, which drove me up a tree because call us what we are. I was a very good painting teacher, and I really was an excellent drawing teacher, instructor. That was enough. I don't have a PhD. I'm not a professor. We didn't like it.
Your old soul and your craft.
Yeah, so Max the Mutt really, also Tina was thinking at that time, at that time we didn't know what a career college was. We were just teaching people. We had no certificates or diplomas. So she was saying, other schools, you get a piece of paper, wear the Mutts. So
that's why I say you have to think outside of the box. You really have to think outside the box because it's very catchy.
Yeah.
Let's talk for a moment about the scholarships.
Please.
We have to talk about the scholarship because it really surprised me. Well, it did and it didn't to an extent. Talk to them about the scholarship, the different types of scholarship we have, and the one in particular that you're looking for a candidate or at least one applicant for.
Yeah, well, we have many applicants for the general scholarship for Canadian students. We do. But we have another one that we call the New Canadian Scholarship for anybody who's a permanent resident who's been here less than 5 years. And believe it or not, we have no applicants this year. So that made me sad. In order to become an applicant, somebody has to visit the school, decide it's a good fit, apply, let us know they can't come without assistance, and then they will put in another portfolio and get directions for how to put in the application for the scholarship. And the scholarship committee meets in April. So that's when they would find out whether or not they got the scholarship. And that scholarship covers a great deal. I think it's, if my memory serves me right, it's everything but the first $500 for years 1, 2, and 3 of the 4-year diplomas. So it's worth quite a bit. And it's renewable, obviously, dependent on citizenship, effort, things of that kind.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What are your class sizes like? I know you said it's very quaint and very small and interactive.
We really try for 15 maximum.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and frequently classes are even smaller than that. Occasionally a class gets larger. If we do something like history of animation, where size doesn't matter, you might have a bigger grouping. But we also know every student. It's quite different.
Like I said, it's a home. It's like family.
Yeah.
You get to know them really, really up close and personal. And
yeah, and I'm still in touch with people after they graduate, and through even international students through Facebook.
Absolutely.
Through LinkedIn.
You actually had a industrial event, open house recently.
Because we actually just moved to this area, and I love it. We moved to 2944 Danforth Avenue, and it's been so welcoming there.
There was a lot of people there.
It was mobbed because we'd been on CP24 a couple of days before, but also a lot of people who had visited our old location came. It was lovely. It was a wonderful event. Yeah, and we did a lot of things there that we'll do again because they went so well. But
you have another event coming up, industrial professional event coming up in May, is that correct?
Yes, we do. In May, after we do our industry event, which is where people from the industry really come from, it's about 2 p.m. till about 9:30, and they come from out of town, they come from all over to look at the work of graduating students. Following that, we have an open house again, an open house weekend. And based on this last one, I think we will again try to have that panel, because it went so well. We had a panel of industry professionals talking about their industries, how they got into it, what kind of skills they think people need in order to succeed. And we'll do something like that again. And Tina gave a free workshop in cartooning, and we'll do that again, I think, as well, something like it. Yeah.
Your graduates, from my understanding, it's a very high, almost 100% in placement and in jobs,
Yeah,
which is amazing.
I always tell people.
Congratulations to you.
I always tell people lie.
And to the students
say,
as well.
Say 90%, because no one will believe you if you say 100. But last year's animation students are all employed in animation, except for Jan Veldman, who's working for the school, and he's assisting the current fourth-year students. So that was really quite nice. And what's very lovely, really, is to see students who are strugglers, who aren't the naturals, make careers for themselves. And through LinkedIn, I just found out that somebody we worked with really struggled through. And he's working at a very good company right now. He's animating. So I sent him congratulations, and he wrote back thanking me and Max the Mutt. And one of the instructors who he had bonded with, who kept working with him even after he graduated. I think that's the difference in a school like Max the Mutt too. That's not the first time that's happened.
Well, what is it you're looking for 2015? I mean, it's a new year. You just moved.
What do we hope for?
What are your hopes for the school? I know you keep saying you want to retire, but Maxine, you can't retire.
No, that's not in the foreseeable future. But I would like to really see the school stabilized. Our original mandate was to be available to talent. Nobody got into this to get rich. It was let people make a fair living, let us have a great school. And the costs of doing this, we are now, of course, under the direction of the Ministry of Education. The costs are enormous. So we keep tuition as low as we can, but it's still a struggle for many people.
But you applied for OSAP, right?
We're about to apply for OSAP.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah, if we get it, it will be great, and we should, but who knows? But what I really want to see is support from industries that we serve, who the skills that we're passing on mean something to, for the school and for students. I want a scholarship foundation that's going to mean that somebody who really has the talent and the drive is going to have the opportunity. That would make me happy.
How can they contact the school or yourself or Tina to have an appointment or consultation?
It's really very easy. We have a website, Max the Mutt, Max with one X, Mutt with two T's, .com. And on there is all the contact information, the phone number, the email, admissions@maxthemutt.com. And also you can just submit a form with your name, your telephone number, your email, and somebody will call you right away.
I know she did. She called me back. You also have a YouTube channel as well.
Yes.
Some of the clips of the students there. I am so thrilled to announce that we will be doing some cool stuff with you.
We're
working
thrilled
with
too.
you as well as, and however we can help bring awareness to the school. It's a charming little school.
Thank you.
As well, I have to say, a charming little, because it's so quaint. It's so homely. It's not the big colleges and so forth, and everybody's so welcome in there.
It's a very good place for people who thrive in situations where people know who they are and where they can get attention. And there are people, perhaps for whom we're not the best fit, who need a bigger environment. But for many people, this environment has really enabled them to develop their skills, to maximize their potential through the time that they're with us. And that's exciting. That's worth keeping working for, right?
Absolutely. In closing, I just would like you to look out there and send a message out to all everyone there and the students or anyone.
The biggest message I can send you is to have faith in your potential as a human being. I see this all the time. The fact that you can't do something now doesn't mean that you can't learn to do it. It really doesn't. Our brains are amazing and flexible, and you get good at what you care about, what you think about, and what you work at. So there are too many people who are constantly putting themselves down and not fulfilling their potential because of the little devil sitting on their shoulder. Flick him off.
Well said. I couldn't say it better. Jack Ma had indicated that, the possibility of trying, if you just try and do it, there's hope.
Yeah,
So why not?
absolutely. Step by step.
step by step. Maxine, I want to thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So much, and I'm sure we will have you back on. We'll be doing some of the things as well with you throughout going forward. That's all I can say. And, you know, of course, to Max, we'll be seeing a lot of you, definitely. So I want to thank you so much
And
for
thank
spending
you,
some
Diana.
time.
It's been a pleasure.
Yes, absolutely. And we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Yeah, Joey. You should have.
Did you have an awesome time? Did you drink awesome shooters and listen to awesome music and then just sit around and soak up each other's awesomeness?
You met her at a funeral.
Yeah. Dude died in a hang gliding accident. What an idiot. Oh, I'm hang gliding. Honey, take a good picture. I'm dead. What a freak.
I am ready. I am always ready. I have been ready. I am ready.
Welcome back. Well, I have a surprise for you. Like I said, we have none other than James Erdt, and he is the founder, the CEO of DYNAMO Entrepreneur. Is that correct, James?
That is correct.
Namaste
Hello,
to
everyone.
you.
Namaste.
James, you crack me up in every way, shape, or form.
Good to know.
You're such a warm spirit,
Thank you.
and you're doing so much. And I know it comes, and there's so much to talk about in such a short space of time about who you are and how you became here. But I want people to know the short version, James, of how you became who you are today. I don't want to stew on your past, but I think your past had a lot to do with who you are become. So let's touch on that a little bit, because I think it's a very important message, and also because of the project that we will be collaborated on as well. So if you want to share with us.
Sure. Yeah, I'd love to. Well, let's take it back, back to when I was a teenager. Up until the age of 16, I was a good student, and I was a great artist, and had lots of friends, played lots of sports, and then it all changed. With what seemed to be a minor decision at the time, it turned out to be a major life-altering choice, and I ended up smoking my first joint of marijuana. Led to numerous other substances, and back in high school, it was easily accessible, acceptable. All the cool kids were doing it, and that's what I sadly thought was cool anyways. So it led to grade slipping, skipping school, hanging out downtown, getting into gangs, crime, violence, and eventually I ended up doing time in prison for something I did when I was 17 with my girlfriend. She had forged a check. I went to go cash it at the bank. I got caught and I ended up in jail as an adult because I was convicted on my 18th birthday. So I ended up in a range of bikers. So you can imagine a young 18-year-old boy, good kid, bad choice, having to go through that experience. So then when I got out, I discovered raving, the phenomenon with, ecstasy and all the different party drugs. So it led down a path of pain, not only for myself, but my family and my circle of influence. By the time I was in my mid-20s, I was already I was still involved in different substance abuses, but worst of all, I had 4 of my friends who actually had passed away over the time I was 15 to 30 from drug overdoses, and one of my best friends was shot dead from gang violence. So it kind of woke me up. My daughter looked at me and she's like, "Dad, this life is either going to kill you or you're going to end up in prison. What if I need you? What if I need you?" And then I was like, wow, it hit me like a ton of bricks and woke me right up. And I decided to become a personal trainer. So I consciously became as healthy as I possibly could be, put myself into the public eye, put myself into a situation where I had to walk the walk. I was still involved in the party scene a little bit. This was when I was 26. And then by the time I was 30, when I got the call that one of my best friends had actually overdosed on ecstasy, I gave up cold turkey, and my 43rd birthday is next week. I'll be officially clean for 13 years. So
Congratulations.
thank you, yeah, and turned everything around, and I went from becoming a personal trainer to a master trainer to an elite trainer to a fitness manager, eventually being nominated for Canadian Personal Trainer of the Year, Canadian Fitness Manager of the Year, and the largest revenue generating trainer in the history of the largest fitness company in Canada. So now taking those skills, instead of lining others' pockets, I took those skills, started a company called Fitness Star International. We began 4 different divisions: a model search, a magazine, a network, and an agency providing healthy bodies. So no big bodybuilders and no skinny mini runway models. It was very healthy women, healthy males, catering to companies like Nike, Tatika, Ice Gear Fitness with healthy bodies. And I officially retired about 6 months ago as the CEO, and I sold my remaining 51
Good for you.
shares 2 weeks ago. So it's great. 6 years, and built a brand, managed a brand, babied a brand, and officially sold a brand. So now I can write the book.
You better write the book.
Yeah,
I'll be on your case for that one.
Yeah.
DYNAMO Entrepreneur.
The next level.
I know that's your baby.
That's
too,
my
as
new
well.
baby.
That's your new baby,
Yeah.
and you're doing amazing things with that.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you,
I've been
thank you.
part of that actually in terms of visiting and one of your sessions
Yeah.
as well. And thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
For the connections that we made there. We had some great interviews
Yes, indeed.
as well. Didn't know they were in the room.
Yeah, fantastic
Yes.
interviews.
Where is that for 2015? What do you want to do with the DYNAMO franchise?
Thank you for asking. Very, very excited. DynamoEntrepreneur.com. So I was a jack of all trades, for many, many years, master of none, and one of the things I really learned over the past 6 years of business especially is that if you spread yourself too thin, you're not doing your most effective work. So I took now the one focus of DynamoEntrepreneur.com and becoming the master in that one direction. However, we've built 10 divisions underneath that one website vehicle. Everything is online, everything is digital. There's no animals hurt, there's no trees knocked down, and there's no carbon footprint. So we make it completely digital, instantly accessible around the world. And may I share the 10 divisions?
Go ahead.
Yeah, very simply. So we got DYNAMO Tribe. Okay, it's like a social network for entrepreneurs, small business owners, speakers, authors, success coaches, experts. We'll call it the expert or the guru industry. We have DYNAMO University, where I've basically collected 24 of the world's top visionaries and thought leaders to inspire the DYNAMO Tribe. DYNAMO Agency is where we can actually support the experts in getting their message out there, whatever vehicle that may be. Predominantly speaker, could be author, could be business coach, etc. We have DYNAMO Expo. We call it the I Elevate You Expo. You can check it out at IELEV8U.com. IElevateyou.com, and those are expos that we're hosting now in Toronto, but we've just branched out to Vancouver. We're looking at Halifax, Montreal, Calgary, and Winnipeg as well over the next 2 years. And we have a DYNAMO podcast series. So our DYNAMO Speaker Talent Search winner, Marcos Mendoza, he's now the host of our podcast series, where we'd actually love to interview you.
Oh, thank you.
You know, so we'll touch base on that.
I'm there,
Yeah.
you know that.
Yeah. DYNAMO Creative, so anything you need, logo design, web development, mobile app development, anything and everything you need as an entrepreneur to solidify your brand. DYNAMO Publishing, our new book publishing company, we're doing a series of anthology books and straight up one author books. DYNAMO Marketplace, which is an affiliate network. So let's say you happen to create a product that's a $2,000 home study course, and you know Anthony, our wonderful camera guy, he goes and he says, you know what, I would love to market this course. He would actually get an affiliate fee for marketing your course for you through the DYNAMO tribe, so spreading the word. And then finally, we have DYNAMO Rewards, which is like an SPC card, like the student price card, where you take the digital card, so it's on your phone, so no plastic, a digital card, you walk into a store and you get 25% around the world for that particular company. So we're launching with 30 companies, but we'll build it to about 100. And finally, DYNAMO TV, which is our YouTube partner channel.
Cool.
In a nutshell.
You sure that's all? You sure that's all?
That's all. That's it. One focus.
That is amazing. That's,
Yeah.
I mean, coming from last year, I know it's in the works too as well, but to see that develop and create, I know when we had, you know, when we had coffee a long time ago, I didn't hear the vision. Maybe it was in the works, but things sometimes snowball overnight.
They
I know
do.
it happens for
They do.
us,
Yeah.
particularly as well. So good for you.
This is a 43-year overnight success story.
Believe me, I know what you mean. Trust me on that one. We'll be talking about my event tonight. We'll be talking about that
I
visibility.
can't wait
as
for your
well.
event tonight. Looking forward
Let's
to
talk
it.
about your event.
Sure. Yeah. March 7th, the six-figure Success Blueprint Workshop. So once again, the gentleman who won our Speaker Talent Search, the DYNAMO Speaker Talent Search back in 2014, his name is Marcos Mendoza. He'll be my special guest. So I created a workshop that inspires, entrepreneurs, a lot of newcomer entrepreneurs or people that are in their jobs looking to break free from the job. And we all know what job stands for, so the just over
Well,
broke.
let's tell them just over broke.
No, I'm a huge advocate for the entrepreneurial industry. This is the golden age of the entrepreneur, and we're just about to go into the golden age of the social entrepreneur.
That's
So
right.
the social entrepreneur is not only someone that's actually living well, so that's our mandate, living well and doing good. The living well is about building your foundations wide, building them deep so you can weather those inevitable storms in life. The doing good part now is taking that excess bandwidth, money, energy, love, and giving it back to the world. So we're creating wonderful projects. Our first philanthropic initiative happens to be in Costa Rica, so we're just in the process of looking for land for a retreat center and youth camp. Yeah, so 10% of all of those vehicles that I shared before, 10% of every dollar that comes through the DynamoEntrepreneur.com network goes directly to these vehicles.
Was that the project, the youth project we spoke about? It was a different youth project?
That was one of them that we touched base on.
The one that
yeah.
we spoke about when I mentioned to you about the project that we were doing and collaborating with that as well. You want to touch a little bit about that one?
About the schools?
The schools?
Yeah, so it's exciting. We're now in contact with many of the principals from the high schools going into speak. Marcos, once again, we have a series called Impossible, but it's spelled I'm Possible, right? So it's an edutainment performance seminar. So not only are they hearing us, they're feeling us. So it's not necessarily what they only see and think, it's how they feel the experience. People remember how you make them feel, not necessarily what you say. Right, so it's a little bit of music. We have some hip hop. He's actually coaching me on writing a song. I'm not a musician, and I'm not a singer by any means, but I'm having a blast creating my first song.
Why not?
And he's an excellent hip hop artist himself, and lyricist and pianist. So,
Anybody could be thought something,
Yeah.
Anybody can be thought. My graduation song, it was The Impossible Dream, and I actually wrote an article for CCA saying the impossible dream is not impossible.
Yeah, it's so
Yes.
true. It's
so
so
you
true.
never know. You never know what life has in part for you. You're
Yeah.
a very spiritual person.
Indeed.
Extremely spiritual, and we connect on so many different levels. In terms of that, how did your spirituality help you through all of this? I mean, that is sometimes the foundation for you. You post pictures of the sunrise in the morning and so forth. And you live in that building so high up that you get the beautiful view.
Yeah.
But how is that helping you? Because I believe we need to revisit that too as well, you know, to have some sort of sanity.
It's an important element. You know, we're all spiritual beings having a human experience. That's my belief. So we just need to remember. You know, one of my greatest teachers is my 4-year-old boy. The other day, even, you know, I asked him, you know, what was that one boy's name that you were playing with, right? And he was like, who, Aaron? And I'm like, yeah, the Chinese boy. And he's like, Dad. He goes, they're all just boys. What's Chinese? And I was like, It was just like, for me, it was so simple just to kind of say something that I've been programmed over the years to share with him. He looks at it as everybody, no color, no sexual preference, no height, no discrimination, no nothing.
You're absolutely right.
Right? It was beautiful.
I
it was
love this
absolutely beautiful.
Because my kids, if I say my son goes to school and, you know, whatever it is, they call them brown, everybody's brown and so forth. I'm like, and he said, Mom, you're racist. And I'm like, why am I racist?
Yeah.
You know, because I identify them, you know.
It's not even so.
That's how
it's just an easy way to identify,
distinguish them,
you know?
separate them. But
and not that it's bad or good or anything. The point is that at that age, they are all human, right? And we need to remember to just be human.
We're all brothers and sisters.
You know, we're all brothers and sisters. And right now, this is the absolute best time to live. We are connecting as a planet through the vehicle of the internet, which I'm a huge fan of. You know, when put in the right hands and with the proper amount of love and the proper amount of enabling tools and backers and finance, it can change the world very, very quickly. Very, very quickly. Instantly accessible with one click of a button.
I know you gave us so much contact information, so can you just summarize it now?
Yeah, very
so
simple.
many websites.
Very, very simple. DYNAMOentrepreneur.com.
Oh, that's one.
That's it. Go there, sign up for the mailing list, and then my first name, last name, JamesErdt.com.
How do you spell your Erdt?
Yeah, ERDT.com.
The D apparently is silent.
Yeah, JAMESERDT.com. Yeah, everything's there.
I would love for you to just look out there and just, do what you do best. Send your message out.
Yeah.
Give a message out.
Sure, yeah, thank you. Discover, develop, and deliver your wow factor with passion on purpose.
That's it. Short and sweet.
Short and sweet.
That's right.
Secret of life.
The secret of life. I want to thank you so much, and namaste to you as well. So much for being here with me.
You're very welcome.
You're
Thank
very
you for
special
having me.
to me as well.
Thank you for having me. You know, excited to
James,
see
what can I
everything
say?
evolve.
What can I possibly say about you? You know, it is an amazing program. You know, life has taught him a great lesson. Now he's given back in so many ways. So I urge you to, and we will be collaborating with him in so many ways, shape, and form. And I want to say, definitely, James, I wish you all the best.
Thank you,
and,
ditto.
You know, all the love for you.
As well.
And thank you so much for being here with me and for spending the day with me, actually.
Yeah. We got another event tonight.
Another event tonight. And we'll be right back at the DNU show.
Thank you so much.
We're back with the one and only Pastor Leonie Laird. And Leonie is a woman who is a very powerful woman in her church, along with her husband, who's a pastor as well. A lot of community work. And she have a few projects she's working on, and we want to talk about those projects, because I think it's crucial for us to know what it is we have in our community, and we're not taking advantage of some of the the events and the community work that's out there and the access that we have. So I want to say welcome to the show, Leonie.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Tell us, who is Leonie? First of all, we have to get to know you first.
Certainly. I'm a person that is a giver. I'm a person that works hard. I love people and I like to do for others. One of the things that I said that started to come to me after some years is that without ever taking a cheerleading class, without ever owning any pom-poms, I'm a great cheerleader. I cheer people on. I motivate them to really move them to where they want to be. That's who I am.
I think you're talking about me, Leonie. From home. You know, I always say to you, we're all a reflection of each other.
Yeah.
We're no different for what we do, and you know the resources that we have, and what we're here to serve. We're really here to serve, and until people find out what that really truly means, you know, I think we're lost sometimes in that we don't know who we are, but you know who you are and what you want. Let's talk about Blue Suede Shoes Productions. I know it's very dear to your heart, and you're having your blue today for
Absolutely, absolutely. That is very dear to my heart, and I feel so honored to be able to speak about Blue Suede Shoes Productions because it came out of an experience that I had as a young girl, and now that I'm much younger, older, I am doing more with that vision.
Well, you got to tell that story. It's an adorable story because it does mean it is who you are, and it meant something to you. So tell us a bit about that story.
When I was a young child, I remember my parents sent me a pair of blue suede shoes. And when I got those blue suede shoes, I came from a poor background. I was raised in the country. And, you know, in the country, in the islands, you run around bare feet. And however, when you have to go out, you must always have on a pair of shoes. And my parents sent me these shoes, and I felt I was on top of the world. I can now go to town, I could be a big girl, I can go to different places. However, because my family was very protective of me, even though I got the shoes, I was not allowed to go very far from home. Although those shoes meant so much to me, at the same time, I looked at those shoes and I wondered why wasn't I allowed to move and to go places? And so throughout my life, I felt that there were some sort of restrictions on me. And I've gotten to the place now where I'm more understanding of that experience and understanding that that experience brought about some hurt that I've overcome. And through that overcoming, this is how Blue Suede Shoes Productions has been formed. Because I want to show especially other young women, that things don't have to hinder you. Once you have the drive, once you have the ability, whatever is on your feet, you can still move, you can still go. So
beautiful.
That's where it came from.
It's that's what gives you the drive and the fluid to live your day every day.
Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. I always say that I have to have something inside of me to activate me. When we're not moving, we're not growing. Mm-hmm. When we're not growing, we're in a place of stagnation. And for you to really achieve, I started to just develop a winning mentality. I said, no matter what it looks like, no matter what it feels like, I can win. I can do it. So I have to keep moving. With much balance, because I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, and I have learned how to balance my life, but still have that inner drive to move.
And your ministry, your husband's ministry, a collaboration, are doing so many great things out there, because you're not just stationed here in the local GTA. You're in Jamaica, you're in New York, you're in Africa. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? Because what you're doing, you're not doing it, you're doing it so holistically, but you're doing it international. Mm-hmm. And that's where it is, wherever you are carried or brought to, that's where you go.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. We wholeheartedly believe in not staying in the box.
Believe me, I know you guys don't stay in the box.
When it comes to ministry, when it comes to how we govern our lives, when it comes to just ideas and meeting people and getting with people. We don't think inside the box. We have a real love for Africa. That is where we were sent, and we have developed some great fellowships and bonds there in Africa. We're in Liberia, and we have relations in Ghana. So we have ministries there that we oversee and that we help in training and development. And of course, also in New York, we were living in New York for quite some time, so we have strong bonds there. We just believe in going. We believe that we should wholeheartedly abide by the principles that have been laid out for us, and we go. We don't stay in the box. And in going, we develop others. That's why all of this with ministry, Blue Suede Productions, it all ties in, because we believe in training and equipping people to stand on their own. If you can't stand on your own, eventually all of us, as a little girl back in the country, I had to think, I have to stand on my own one day. I can't let my circumstances or my situation hold me back. I have to stand.
That's amazing. I just got to say quickly, it's ironic how we met. It was because of your license plate from New York. That's another story. But it just goes to show how symbolic things. I used to live in New York. I used to live in New York.
Yes.
And how that actually is what brought us together.
Yes,
And I was,
yes.
sort of laughing it off that night. In terms of none of this that you're doing in Africa, New York, Jamaica has its ups and downs, more downs than ups. And Toronto as well. And some of the projects that you do, we'll be chatting about in a moment. But I want people to know it sounds like they have ministries, but it's how do we sustain these ministries?
Yes.
We need people out there to come out and be part of that.
Absolutely.
Too as well. Let's talk about your pet project that your husband is so passionate about, and you as well with the orphans in Africa.
Over a year ago, my husband connected with the Watoto Children's Choir, the organizers for that, and he was moved by their story. My background and his background has always been in the field of helping people from adverse situations. And the Children's Choir, they are all orphans from either their parents died from HIV/AIDS, or they are alone now because of the war, so their parents have died. So there were two missionaries that got together, and they went there, a wife and a husband, went there and started the village for them and start to help them. And they go around the world singing and bringing the message of hope and rescue, to rescue other children, to bring hope to other children that no matter what their circumstances or their illness, again, there is hope, they can thrive. So we have the awesome opportunity to bring this choir to Toronto.
One night only.
One night only.
One
July
night only.
2nd, one night only. They're coming to Toronto, and we're honored to host them. And they're going to share in song and dance, in just expressing themselves from their culture as to what they're doing. So we are excited about this, and we're looking for partners. We're looking for partners to partner with us and to
James giving you the signal there.
and to be
James.
awesome, and to there is opportunities to be a vendor or a partner. We really want to go big with this, because not only, again, ties back to our win-win premise that, I'm here to serve. When we serve each other, when I serve you, we serve each other.
Absolutely.
And so you win, I win. So in that, we're also given businesses opportunities to be exposed. The choir, they come here free of charge.
But they're coming for less than 24 hours. They're not even
Less
going to be
than
here for
20
24
no,
hours.
no.
Just
So
to do this.
Just to do this. And they're on their way. It's a free concert. Let me say that. It's a free concert to the community. So we have to ensure that, that they're well taken care of.
Well, let me just elaborate. It's a free concert, but we need your help to host them.
Yes.
And it's how many kids?
30.
30 kids. So you think
And
about
adults.
Of course, you have the chaperones and
Yes.
so forth. And I have seen what they've done.
Yes.
I thought they were the traditional choir
Yes.
who was quiet. And, oh, no.
No.
They really
They're-
entertaining. They're full of
very
life
much.
and energy, and you wouldn't know their struggles at all.
The beautiful thing
talented.
for their 2015 tour, I am so captivated by their the name of their tour. It's called Oh What Love. When I say that, it literally gives me chills. Oh What Love is the name of their tour, and they're just spreading love and hope. And they have a new sound. They've improved their sounds from just usual traditional drumming to a real new poppin', hip hop, real energized sound. Our children love it, and a lot of young people are drawn to them.
How can we get in touch with you, the ministry, or find out more information how they can support you? Or if they want to come to church, for example. I know also that we're talking about a youth ministry. So how else they can get involved with that? Where can they contact you? Where the church is?
They could call my number. They can call me. My number is 289-892-4835. Or we are located at 174 Shorten Road. That's in Scarborough. And that's just between McCowan and Markham Road off Shepherd Avenue. And we're there our usual Sunday morning worship service at 11 a.m. Or they can just come by. My husband is there every day.
I want you to look out there and give a message, to everyone out there to support in any which way, shape, or form, or whatever it is you want to say to them. Just look out there and talk to them.
What I would really like to share with everyone that's watching is that sometimes in life we go through some very abrasive situations. To get to the soft side of where we are, or to get to the place where we're feeling secure and confident about ourselves, we sometimes go through some real tough rubbing. But I just want to share with everyone that there is hope. There's hope that there are resources and connections that you can make in the community that can help you to get to the place of your destiny. It is vital for us to get to that place so we can be in oneness with ourselves and with God. And so I just wanted to share that.
Well, Leonie, I want to thank you so much for coming
Thank
out.
you.
And we will do our absolute best the choir is coming, regardless.
The choir is coming,
The
yes.
choir is coming. Today's been a very special day, simply because I had 3 incredible guests. We had Maxine from Max the Mutt. And Maxine has this incredible school that she, created and founded. And it's more of a home, or it's for art design, and we have scholarships that's untapped. Find someone, refer someone, just get someone, for goodness sake, because you never know. Then we have James. James has turned his life around, incredible story, and he shares it because it's a legacy for you, him, me, my kids, his kids, and everyone out there that he's helping in creating this dynamic DYNAMO Empire entrepreneurs. And I want to thank him so much for that and sharing that. And Leonie and Devon Laird. I know Devon's not here, and we've had Devon on previously talking about the Watutu Children's Choir. I know the ups and downs they're going through in terms of wanting to do and serve everyone. And there are challenges. I know there are challenges. But you can make a difference, especially to have the Watutu Choir here. And I just want to end you on that note. We, just keep looking on, because here is the Watutu Choir Group. Until next time on the Unusual, be safe and protect yourself.
beautiful because of Jesus. He has given us life and life so abundantly. Jesus has turned our darkness to light and our sorrow into summer. Come along and see what he has done. He has to bring us joy to make us all across the world now. Let the nations rise. He has done, he has good. Bring us to us, Lord, and science. Beautiful Africa, hey, my Africa, in Africa, my Africa, my beautiful Africa, hey, my Africa, in Africa, my Africa, hey, my Africa, in Africa, everywhere in the world, my Africa, that's all I tell beautiful Africa, my Africa, you are the one, Africa,